So, welcome to the latest installment of the Chipmunk Kalahari wildlife blog. Recently, we looked at the food and wildlife of Romania, and today I have the great pleasure of interviewing one of my colleagues, Bianca, in a special broadcast that will also be going out on my SoundCloud page. So, hello, Bianca, how are you today?
Hi, Danny. I'm fine. Thanks for the invitation. This is really exciting because the more I hear that people are interested in Romania, and especially the conservation and biodiversity there, it's really close to my heart, and I think it's important to talk about it.
Yeah, agree.
Why don't you start us off with a quick introduction to yourself, what you do at work, and where you grew up?
Yes. So I'm marine aquatics assistant consultant with WSP. I've started in October 2022. I'm coming from the Scottish Marine Directorate. I previously worked with the Scottish government as a GIS assistant in the Marine Directorate, but I was looking for a more marine biology oriented role. And so I moved to WSP. And since started with WSP, I've been working in a range of projects, mostly large-scale development projects, and everything from writing marine protected assessments, HRAs, chapters in the EIA. But one of my areas of interest is offshore wind farm developments. And since May, I've been involved heavily with the Senos offshore wind farm, which is a floating wind farm that is going to be developed in the Central North Sea as part of the INTHOG developments, licensing areas, which is decarbonization of the oil and gas rigs.
Yep.
And I've always said that despite my job title, I will always be marine conservationist at heart. So my main interest lies mostly with marine conservation and restoration.
Yeah, which is more and more a critical area for us in the nature conservation community. What was your journey into that? How did you become an ecologist? How did you get interested in marine conservation initially?
So I grew up in Romania on the coast, so I've always lived next to the water. I didn't know from a young age that marine biology is what I want to do and that I want to save the oceans. But I grew through it throughout my education journey and my life experiences. So at my entire childhood, I was a professional handball player. I played for the national team of Romania. But then at the age of going through university, I decided I want to study abroad. And so I stopped my handball career and I moved to Denmark, where I studied completely something different in Copenhagen. It was management. And after 2 years, I realized that sustainability and nature was closer to my heart than this. And I found out that that's what I want to do. And there was a visit in Scotland that made me realize that I would like to move to Scotland and start brand new. And so I started here my marine biology degree. And yeah, I grew through it. And it was here in Edinburgh that I discovered my strong passion towards marine conservation. And I've learned a lot in here.
That makes a lot of sense. It's great to have you on board. Could you maybe tell us a bit more about Romania? And you mentioned growing up on the coast. I grew up in the coast in England. Romania's natural treasures, what are they, would you say?
So first of all, Romania is very rich in terms of natural aspects and background, climate, landscapes, resources. So it's it's a lucky country, I would say. We have the sea and we have the mountains. Our highest peaks are 2,500 meters above the sea level. And then we have the Black Sea, which, although it's an enclosed sea, it has an opening to the Mediterranean through Turkey. And so we have everything in terms of resources and tourism, if you think about it. We
Yeah,
have a large range of animals that live, like wildlife, from bears to wolves, from harbor porpoises to dolphins, and the smaller species, a nice fauna as well, broadleaf trees, and yeah,
that's a good
it's rich.
range.
Yes, yeah.
And if we now think to talk a little bit about the opportunities for nature and also the threats, what do you think are the greatest threats, first of all, to Romania's natural heritage?
There is lots of threats in Romania, unfortunately. If I would start with the deforestation, for example, it's a huge issue in Romania, and that's due to the corrupted government. There are organizations such as Carpathia Conservation Society, which since 2009 they are trying to save deforestation. And we have virgin trees, virgin trees, virgin trees and silver forests, very
Mhm.
ancient forests in the Transylvanian and the Carpathian Mountains and the Transylvanian area, and those are the home, and they offer a great habitat for a large range of species, and specifically to deforestation. So there are great conservation opportunities. One of the issues that it's um, publicly highlighted and it's every day on the news is the bears that come into the city because of deforestation. They don't have a home and a habitat where to live anymore, and people don't understand that it's us driving them out of the forest, and they come into the cities and scavenge the garbage, and they scare people, and people don't know how to react. And there's been many fatalities in for bears, and a lot of trauma for them because of that. So there are initiatives happening, but I think that the government doesn't understand how important or how to um, put plans of action in place to solve this issue.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. I think in any country, really, often there are things that just bring people and wildlife into conflict more than would otherwise be the case, and
Yeah,
how to solve that problem whilst keeping as many people and animals happy, if you like, as possible is a tricky one.
yeah,
But it doesn't help if you're going to do things like chop down forests. I've just had a look at some of the photos here of the virgin forest, and they are absolutely beautiful. They're stunning.
yeah. Yeah, and that's just terrestrial. There's many other aspects that I probably am not aware of at the moment because I feel a bit disconnected with my country. I've been away for 6 years, and um, to research these things. So there are things available for internationals or in English, but for you to delve deeper, probably like you need to find like a Romanian expert
Yeah,
to, because not all the information is publicly available in Romania, so it's a bit hard to find accurate information. And it's a bit sad also to see that we had I think it's a German couple, some foreign people that came in Romania to put up this initiative to Carpathian Conservation, the organization, and it looks like internationals appreciate our country way better than we do, and or we don't know how to approach these issues. We don't have the expertise in-house. Conservation jobs in Romania are hard to find, which is a bit disappointing. And that's terrestrial. In terms of marine, which is closer to my heart than terrestrial, and luckily I've just actually came back from Romania, where I've been to a conference on the Black Sea blue investments, but we also talked a bit about marine conservation opportunities at the conference. And there's loads of opportunities in there, from planting of seagrass to marine mammal observations, Danubian Delta restoration projects happening, cooperation with fishermen to eradicate ALDFG, which is ghost nets in the sea, and ocean literacy. So there are initiatives happening. The problem is that there's the people to put these projects in place, probably they're not there, and there's no funding to support this very much needed project. So yeah, loads of opportunities, I would say.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Just for people listening who might not know what a ghost net are, ghost nets are discarded, usually fishing nets, aren't they, that are just drifting around without really any purpose and might untangle marine wildlife. Is that right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
That might have been dislodged due to weather conditions from the vessels, or intentionally discarded by fishermen due to damages to the fish nets, or anything related to that.
Yeah. So what about the future then? What do you think the best solutions are? What would you like to see over the next, I don't know, 10, 15 years? What would the best possible future for Romanian wildlife conservation be, realistically, but maybe ambitiously realistically?
I've been thinking about it, and when when I was at the conference last week, I made a few connections with researchers in my hometown, specifically to marine, but I think this applies to terrestrial as well, anything related to nature conservation. It's in Romania, I think it would start from nature or conservation literacy, education of people to appreciate nature more in Romania. And I don't say that they don't appreciate it. People do appreciate nature in Romania, but it's more about understanding the issue that the nature is facing at the moment due to our anthropogenic aspects, the damages that we do from different activities, and try to get them more involved through volunteering, because volunteering is not a big thing in Romania. And I think from a very small age, if you learn about preserving nature and how to do it and connect better with it, we will grow better generations and protect the nature in Romania better. I think the UK is a very good example. People here, I feel like they have a very good sense of the environment and the nature, and the media talks a lot about it. I would like to see that in Romania as well. So I was trying to explore, or I'm trying at the moment to explore opportunities to get involved somehow in driving these initiatives, which I know that they are coming with the help from the European Commission and the funding that they offer. So, and with the passion of people that I met at the conference. So I'm sure there's more of them that I haven't met yet, from terrestrial ecology, ornithology, and anything related to nature.
Yeah, I think the future is is bright if we consider the amount of talented people with that passion you talk about who are working on these projects. Sometimes it is just about connecting the dots and getting the message out there wider, which is its own challenge. But that's still, it's a positive vision. It's encouraging to hear as well about the things we in the UK do well. Sometimes we're quite pessimistic about our own chances, and we take for granted a lot of the things we have. So yeah, it's good to be reminded of what we're doing well. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, come visit Romania. It's a beautiful country. It might have sounded sad what I've said, but it's not sad. It's full of opportunities. Again, I am a bit disconnected with my country because I've been away, but now I'm exploring opportunities to try to get involved, even from distance, to drive marine conservation, but like this would work towards nature conservation in Romania. So I don't want people to get put down. It requires a bit of research to delve deeper into finding out what's going on in terms of nature conservation. And I've mentioned a few organizations in there that do that. It's just the funding that is needed. So yeah, I am glad for the opportunity, Danif, to talk about Romania, and thank you for the invitation. And I hope that your audience will like to hear about it.
I'm sure they will. Thank you very, very much. That's much appreciated. I would love to visit Romania myself, and I've certainly had fun chatting about it. So thank you, Bianca Mata.